Hello and welcome to Treehouse Talks. My name is Nancy Levine.
And I'm Janice Massetti.
And this is our very first Treehouse Talk. So, Janice, why don't you tell me a little bit about your glass? Well, first of all, let me tell you about Janice. Janice is one of the best stand-up comics in the New York City area. She's hilarious.
She's lying. I'm really a stripper and I broke the pole. I'm sorry, you're the stripper. I'm looking at me now.
Oh, please, please. And now she's going to, Janice, tell us about your glasses here. They look very interesting.
Thank you, darling. Well, now that I am in the 50 range, you need glasses. You know why? Because everything you look at looks like baby ants, little baby ants. And at 51, I can't read.
And there they are.
All the ants. It's like an ant house, you know? So you have to wear glasses, and these are trifocals. Reading, clear, far away, but... Thank God, because you know what's good about being blind? Everybody looks good.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true, yes, but you look very attractive in
Thank you.
Now, how long have you been doing stand-up comedy, Janice?
20-something years. I'd rather tell my age or weight.
Okay, and why don't you tell us about how things were when you first started out as compared to how they are now?
Well, actually, it seems like it's coming back around. Years ago, we all brought like 5 to 10 people and packed a room and had a comedy show. But I was one of the very few women at the time. There weren't a lot of women in comedy. And that really wasn't my focus to be a stand-up comic. My focus was musical theater and Broadway. That's why I went to New York.
Okay.
But when you get to New York out of college, it's very expensive to pay musicians back in the day. They didn't have iTunes and all this computer stuff,
all that
so you had to get charts and music. And a college friend said, Jan, you know, I took this comedy class. You're perfect. This is what you do. I took the class, and many years later, my teacher ended up opening up for me. So that was quite amazing.
That's really cool.
And and meeting you, you know, I get to act again and do things like that. Like my dream was always Broadway, musical theater.
Which reminds me, you're talking about getting to act again. Laugh Out Loud Productions has a great new show that we're going to be opening up in the spring of 2016 called Housewives of Secaucus, a suburban travesty.
And guess who I'm playing? Big Brenda.
Yeah,
oh, what a stretch. What a stretch. Big Brenda, how's you doing? We're from Secaucus. I got Nancy Levine with LOL Productions.
And I'm playing one of the characters I haven't quite decided yet.
A thin one, I'm sure.
So anyway, so this play is a lot of fun. It's actually going to be in Atlantic City, so stay tuned, folks. You'll be seeing it in Atlantic City.
And go on our Facebook page, Nancy Levine, Janice Massetti, and we'll let you know when the show is going to take off. Aside from everything else this one produces, I produce, I love this woman. And she invited me.
And I love her. She's the first. I love her.
I've never been in a treehouse. This is a first for me. I'm 51 years old, and this is a first.
And she's my first guest, so this is very
so
exciting.
Special.
Oh, it's so warm and fuzzy.
They got to come to Atlantic City when we do the Housewives of Secaucus. That's going to be a hoot.
You got to come,
You got to come.
And
also, November 13th, if anybody wants to come to Queens, Astoria, I'm doing bagels and baklava. You should come too.
And what's going to happen at the bagels and baklava?
We're going to do stand-up with Jewish and Greek people. And then if you're not, we'll just put you in and give you a bagel.
Well, that sounds delicious.
Yeah, but if anybody ever wants to get in touch with you, I know, go to your Facebook page.
Yes.
Whenever I'm playing somewhere, and especially when it comes to you, Nancy, I always say, Laugh Out Loud Productions, I'm working with Nancy Levine. We're doing a show at some bar. I don't know where or how I'm getting there, but it was a great show.
Some bar with a pole.
Yes, always a pole. That is my requirement. I don't ask for much, but I ask for a pole.
Yeah, she doesn't even need to get paid. She just wants a pole.
I work for coffee.
She's cheap.
Yeah, well,
she's cheap.
Cheap, but I'm a cheap date, but save your money because I like jewelry.
And she does. Well, listen, she's Jewish. I love jewelry.
I'm a Spanish Jew. You know what happens with Spanish Jews? We have to get a good deal or we'll just rob you.
Okay, well, I'm really glad that I put away all the valuables today.
And you know, also, we have to have you come into the city and do Broadly Funny at the Broadway Comedy Club. You should do the women's show. Definitely. Definitely, I'm going to give them your name. Definitely.
Okay. Well,
Because I want Nancy to be in Manhattan more. She's living beautifully in suburbia. And we're in her backyard right now in New Jersey, and I don't want to leave. Look, they have trees here. Trees. You don't have to go to Central Park. We have trees here.
It's actually Highland Mills, New York, but
It's
I guess
beautiful.
it's the same thing. I don't know.
It's beautiful.
It's absolutely
And you
gorgeous.
are so funny. You were so funny. I mean, this woman, she had me with we did a Valentine's Day show. Remember that?
Yes, we did.
And by the end of the show, we were stripping and wearing boas, and
Yes.
every man in the place all of a sudden came back to life.
Yeah,
They woke
it's
up,
true. It's
remember?
true. Yeah,
Your
it was-
body, my voice. Ay, what a night that was.
I have a thing for boas. I don't know what it is.
And, yeah, and they're not snakes.
Yeah.
The boas you wear around your neck.
I think
Google
maybe I
it,
was,
kids, if you're out there. If you don't know what boa means, it's not just a snake. Google it.
That's true. So let me see. What else can we talk about?
We got the Housewives of Caucus coming
Yes.
up. You're going to be doing a play, which you got a great
Oh,
role.
yes. I am going to be doing a play at Theater Works in Westchester, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. And I'm
Awesome
playing
play.
Martha, so I'm really
Great role.
excited about that.
And what month is that going to be?
And that's going to be in November, the first 2 weeks of November, so that's very exciting. But I'm going to go by the name of Nancy Rollins in that play, which leads me to something we can actually talk about. Now, you
I
look
thought you were
confused.
Jewish, not black. Rollins,
I have to decide what name to use. Am I Levine? Am I Rollins?
Are you
Am I
Levine?
Rollins?
Levine?
Levine?
Oh,
Like,
Levy?
what should I do? What do you think I should do, Janice? What,
Levine,
Levine?
like you're French. From the Levine family. My last name is Massetti. You know how many times people call me Mashitz or Masseets? I'm like, geez, at least say Messi, something that looks like my name. They go, you're Italian, right? I said, no, I'm Sephardic. And they go, what's that? I go, I'm a Spanish
Sephardic.
Jew.
She farted?
They
What?
said, exactly. I said, what are you, I said, my family has gas. What are you talking? Ay,
well.
Ve Maria, Dios mío. I want to stay here forever. Nancy,
Yeah, this
so
is
when
just-
are we
this is just
doing the
fabulous.
next comedy show? When are we going to do that?
The next comedy show is probably going to be sometime in November, so stay tuned, folks. Look on the Facebook page, Laugh Out Loud NY, on Facebook.
And you do use Nancy Levine, which is a pretty easy
Yeah.
spelling. NancyLevine, right?
That's true. NANCYLEVINE. Yeah.
Wait, we got jazz hands.
Jazz
hands.
hands.
And it's Janice Massetti, J-Nice, J-A-N-I-C-E, Massetti, M-E-S-S-I-T-T-E.
And
Yay!
Nancy Levine or Rollins. Maybe you guys can help me decide on
That would
which
be
name
cool.
to use.
That would be very
We could
cool.
do like a little poll or something. I
Not
don't
a
know.
poll.
A poll?
I broke the poll. Maybe we could have raffle or something.
A raffle. Yeah, I don't
Send
I
your
don't-
ideas to Nancy on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Maybe I should just use a completely different name.
Or you could do Nancy. Like J Nice.
So anyway, we're going to be doing this probably every couple of weeks, and if any of you people
Can
out
walk
there,
up steps. You must be able to walk up steps.
that's all you have to do is be able to walk up steps.
Yes, and-
that's the criteria, and you have to be somewhat interesting on it.
And please, if you have sneakers, wear them. Not like boots like this,
Yeah.
because I just felt like I was in camp, but I made it. I made it up here. I was not going to not make it. I wasn't going to be the chubby girl that fell down, because you know, Nancy, if I'm going down like the Titanic. So we may have to only ask people at a certain weight range to come up here.
And you can't be afraid of heights either.
No, don't look down. Well,
Don't
look, we
look
made
down,
it.
but look,
We made it. We're so high up. We're
Yeah.
closest to God now.
Yeah, it's God's country.
I know. Look,
God's
we're a
country.
star.
So, I know what we could talk about. Speaking of drinking coffee, do you remember the first time you had a cup of coffee? Because I did.
You do?
Yes. I was studying for finals when I was in college. And I was falling asleep, and my friend said, well, why don't you have some coffee? And I was like, well, I've never had coffee before.
Aye.
And she said, well, try it. And it was just the instant Maxwell House crap, but I was jumping out of my skin. It was incredible. And since then,
You're an addict.
I'm an addict.
Give me the caffeine.
I drink about
caffeine.
3 to 4 cups a
I
day.
know.
Yeah, it's bad, but we keep some companies in business. We all know what that is.
Yeah, this is also blue tape you use for painting, and that's from a Jewish girl whose father doesn't even know how to use a butter knife. Thank you. But you know what? Also, I always post where I'm going to be, and you always post where you're going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever anybody, if I want to know where you are, I just look at your Facebook page.
Yeah.
Or, you know,
Nobody's
or they could
alone.
call Laugh Out Loud Productions.
Yes.
You know, is there a phone number you have for Laugh
Yes,
Out Loud?
well, you know, there should be a phone number on there, but there's not, so I'll just...
We couldn't afford it back then, so tell
We
them.
couldn't afford it back then in the day. It's 845-827-5574 or 1-888-347-5546. So that's it.
And if you want to book me for private parties or just to sit and hang out and take care of your drooling husband or pick up some money from your uncle on a life support system, call me.